On behalf of the City of Anaheim, welcome to the City National Grove of Anaheim and the 2016 State of the City Luncheon. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for our national anthem.
It's such an honor to be here with Anaheim, with our family here, our community, and to pray together. So I ask that we just still our hearts and focus on the God who loves all of us, no matter who we are. God of universal love, your spirit unites our city. As we face challenges and complex decisions, it is your spirit that transforms us to become a city aware of the needs of others, a city who is open to growth and change for the good of our children, our future generation. Teach us to come from a grateful stance as we recognize the good that is happening in our city. Amen.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you once again, and hopefully we're going to get you guys back to work. We've just learned that because of you and because of the sponsors and the City of Anaheim, they've made it possible for all of the proceeds, all of the net proceeds today to go to ACT Anaheim. So that is a great piece of good news. And just so you understand how much that is, today alone, we've already raised over $80,000 to benefit Anaheim's youth. That's over $80,000, and we haven't started counting the money that we're going to raise for all of the centerpieces. A reminder again, for the centerpieces that you want to buy, and make sure that you're donating to ACT Anaheim. Let's get that number up as high as we can. For some of you, you might not really know about ACT of Anaheim, and we want to know, and we want you to know exactly where your dollars are going, where the dollars are being spent to impact the at-risk youth in Anaheim. So I know everybody wants to take a Facebook photo and a Twitter and an Instagram and Snapchat because that goes away in 24 hours, but I'd like you to put your phones down for just a minute. I know you're enjoying each other's company, but if you just sit back and take a look at this wonderful special feature here that has been presented for ACT Anaheim.
Go ACT video.
When people look at Orange County from the outside, they typically see our wealth, our success, a thriving business culture, entertainment. What is so often hidden are the challenges. Anaheim is truly our hidden urban core. There has not been as much attention and focus, and there certainly hasn't been as much philanthropic investment in the children, youth, and families of Anaheim as there have been in other communities.
My name is Mia. I'm 13 years old, and I live in a 3-bedroom apartment with my 6 brothers and sisters.
My name is James. I'm 16 years old. I go to Catella High School. I live in a pretty rough neighborhood, but my mom, she just wants the best for me. She doesn't want me to get involved with the crime in my neighborhood.
When Disneyland decided to take a deeper look into what was going on for the youth of Anaheim and funded this study, the Anaheim Youth Services Assessment, it revealed very important information about challenges in the Anaheim community, and Disneyland's impetus to then invite the Angels and the Ducks to join with them, and together they reached out to the Community Foundation to see how to really get it all on the right track. We launched ACT Anaheim with a group of 10 initial grantees. Those initial grantees just blew all their projections out of the water, and in the first year, more than doubled the number of youth that they had anticipated, ultimately reaching more than 3,000 youth in Anaheim with incredible programs, helping kids avoid what can hold them back and helping them set really high standards for their future.
During my younger years, when I was in school, I experienced a lot of bullying. I really depended on myself to make sure that I wasn't gonna let myself down. I think that Girls Inc. is really good for everyone because it can help with a lot of personal things and social things it teaches you.
One of the most exciting things we've been able to bring through ACT Anaheim is a focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
My school doesn't, offer like classes about engineering, It's something I'm really interested in. But here in the Learning Center, it does have classes about that. I'm very passionate. It's helped me focus on what I want to do after college.
Some of my dreams are to either do something into science like forensics or psychology or sociology.
We're letting all of these kids try their hand and finding kids who this becomes their love. It's the gateway to their future. It is what ignites that passion for learning and for achievement in them. For all of our ACT grantees, they are now using a common evaluation platform where they are all entering their data every month and aggregating it so they can use it as they continue to design and improve their programs going forward.
My son is currently in 3rd grade. He's developing these relationships with these students because I know that this is their time to be able to volunteer and give back to the community.
Because of ACT Anaheim, we are able to bring free job training programs to the Anaheim community. The medical assisting program provides a hands-on experience where they're going to be learning how to draw blood, give injections. They learn medical terminology. They get placed in an externship site where they can practice everything that they've learned before they actually face the real world and the job search world. Our construction program provides all of the necessary skills that they're going to need to go out and look for a job, but most importantly, be able to keep that job.
One of the things we encourage them to look at is the CalArts program because they can receive scholarships where they could go become animators and possibly work for DreamWorks in their future. And then come back to share those experiences with younger kids where they can get involved in their community and then be employed in their community.
When I see a student complete our training program, it's going to take them on a path of life stability, which is all that we've ever wanted for our students.
We have very high hopes for ACT, not just as we enter Act 3, but going forward into the future. We want to create a long-term, sustainable base of support for Anaheim's youth. To do that well, we're going to need not just the support of the philanthropic community, but the increasing engagement of the Anaheim business community. Our devotion in ACT Anaheim is to make sure we give these kids a reason to keep trying, to work hard, and to ultimately become the community members that Anaheim is going to need for its future.
I always knew I could do something with my life and that I had potential, but then after Girls Inc., I knew that I could do it and I will do it. Because of ACT Anaheim, I'm more confident in myself, and I just want to say thank you for making me feel that way.
Just an absolutely tremendous program that you are helping make possible with your donations today. And the one thing I took away from that, and it's actually 2 words from the young woman who said, will. She will do something. And the young man who said, when I go to college. Not if, not I hope, not any of that. But ACT Anaheim is giving these people hope that they will do these things, and when they do these things, and you should be very proud of the involvement that you have in ACT Anaheim. Without further ado, the State of the City.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Tom Tate, Mayor of the City of Anaheim.
Thank you. What a city. And what a great year we had. We've accomplished so much together. So I want to thank you for all that you're doing for our great city of Anaheim. It's an honor to be your mayor, and it's an honor to be here today. When I began my first term as your mayor, I committed to installing kindness as a core value in our city, with the goal of making Anaheim a city of kindness. I made speeches, we created a logo, and encouraged everyone to act with kindness towards each other. Our goal was to change the culture of our wildly diverse city through simple, powerful, and unsolicited acts of kindness. This will create what academics refer to as social capital, or another way is to refer to it as building social muscle in our city, so that when the inevitable challenges arise, we as a city have the strength and resiliency to respond effectively. So, I've always believed the real source of improving city life is the people. It's our people who actually build thriving neighborhoods, create strong economies, lift the poor out of poverty, and teach our children. City government plays a critical role in leadership, keeping us safe, fiscally responsible, enforcing the laws, building infrastructure, initiating programs, supporting the schools, and so on. But to me, it's all about bringing us all together, treating one another with kindness, and taking on the future as one Anaheim. To my delight and surprise, the kindness campaign is becoming a movement. Wherever I go, I see acts of kindness, and people want to talk to me what kindness means to them. I remember speaking about the kindness initiative a couple years ago during a visit at the Walnut Village retirement home. I met a resident there named Dennis Hickey. Now turns out Dennis is a former philosophy professor from Oxford. And Dennis pulled me aside and said, "You're absolutely right about kindness, but you may be missing something." He asked me, "Do you know the German word Mitsein?" He said it doesn't translate into English directly, but the closest meaning is being with. It's how Germans define coming together as community. The word's Mitsein. Dennis went on to say, "Imagine a city where citizens are being with one another, being with familiar people, and perhaps more important, being with unfamiliar people. Being with another person focuses and deepens the acts of kindness. They become more consequential. So that's it. I'll never forget what Dennis told me, and he's actually here with us tonight, or this afternoon. Let me introduce Dennis Hickey. Dennis. Thank you, Dennis. Wherever I go in Anaheim, individuals and organizations of all sorts express their commitment to Mitsein and kindness. 2 years ago, when I was getting a haircut, I met 6th grade student from Price Elementary School, Sean Oleo. He's a young man who just sang the national anthem. In the barbershop, Sean and I talked about kindness and giving back. And Sean took the conversation really seriously, and he launched a nonprofit called Kids Giving Back. Sean now organizes an annual fundraiser where kids from all over Orange County perform downtown Anaheim. And starting this year, he'll have the support of the newly formed Anaheim Creativity Council. To date, Sean has raised over $20,000 for our schools to purchase musical instruments, which I'd say is not bad for an 8th grader. So let's hear it for Sean again. I believe we're witnessing something powerful. The kindness campaign is becoming a movement. So, I am happy to report that the state of our city is strong. And today will become even stronger. Later this evening, the City Council will vote on the districting initiative approved by almost 70% of the voters in November 2014. At this historic meeting, the Council will take its 3rd and final vote to approve the People's Map, the unanimous recommendation of 5 retired and highly respected judges. The City Council will expand to 6 districts, each represented by their own council member. Tonight, I expect this initiative will become law. For the first time in our 159-year history, Anaheim will change how we elect our council members. And then this November, the voters of District 1, 3, 4, and 5 will elect their own district representatives. In 2018, the voters in District 2 and 6 will elect their own district representatives. I applaud all involved in bringing us to this historic day. We're bringing Anaheim citizens closer to the city government in a big way. City Hall will now be more responsive than ever before to the people we serve. I can't wait to see what we accomplish together. So let me take you on a brief district tour. On the screen is a people's map. Each district has a population of approximately 56,000 residents. That means that these districts alone are larger than many cities. Here you'll find in District 1 is the heart of West Anaheim. Here you'll find the dynamic Brookhurst Community Center, a first-class event venue surrounded by a beautiful park. Brookhurst features one of Anaheim's most successful and vibrant senior citizens programs. There's also the West Anaheim Youth Center. They offer after-school programs, sports leagues, and classes for kids of all ages. This district is home of the Western High School Pioneers. Western High lays claim to 2 famous alums. One, Tiger Woods, and the other, Nobel Prize-winning biologist Rudy Schuckman. One of the best festivals in the city is Anaheim's Western Barbecue, held every May at Twyla Reed Park. The Magnolia School District out in West Anaheim, with the support of the Salvation Army and the Anaheim Family YMCA, has really stepped up. This public school district is now teaching their children to swim. In a district where over 70% of the students don't know how to swim, and 1,100 kids are homeless, more than 1,100 kids are homeless and living in motels, programs like this are critical for their health, safety, and well-being. And I think I just heard earlier today that I think Magnolia has 7 of their 8 schools are gold ribbon schools. So good job to Magnolia School District. Yes. You all know about the strong commitment to revitalize Beach Boulevard. With the help of a significant grant, we now have a smart plan to rejuvenate Beach Boulevard. 2 months ago, I met with the mayors of Buena Park and Stanton to create the Renew Beach Boulevard Coalition. We're combining our efforts, focusing on aesthetic improvements, commercial development, and public safety. And finally, the state has approved our Westgate plans to bring new shops, retail, and restaurants to a 25-acre site at Beach and Lincoln. The residents of West Anaheim have long awaited this plan, and hopefully will break ground soon, hopefully within the year. My message to developers, potential homeowners, and businesses is simple. There is big opportunity in West Anaheim, particularly along Beach Boulevard. District 2 is home to a thriving, diverse community. Here you'll find Little Arabia, an eclectic and exciting collection of Arab American businesses, restaurants, and markets. Little Arabia has been attracting people from all over Southern California for years. And not to be outdone, is also home to the famous Cortina's Italian Market and, of course, Mama Cosa's restaurant. Clearly, this district is a vibrant, fun, and obviously a calorie-rich environment. I love those places. You'll also find 3 of our most successful high schools where graduation rates are closing in on 95%. Savannah High is a 2015 California Gold Ribbon School. And the amazing Loera Marching Band is the only California band that will perform in this year's Memorial Day Parade in Washington, D.C. Loera is proud that alum Gwen Stefani started her band No Doubt right here in Anaheim. And the creators of SpongeBob SquarePants, Steven Hillenberg, is a proud graduate of Savannah High. And I gotta say, with my kids, I think I've seen every single episode. I love SpongeBob. So also from Savannah High are Major League Baseball stars, the Hoffman brothers, Trevor and Glenn Hoffman. And Magnolia graduate Brian Downing went on to lead the Angels in hits during his time with the team in Anaheim. I think as a side note, I heard that Brian Downing didn't even make that Magnolia team, which tells you how great that Magnolia team was back then. We also have the Tiger Woods Learning Center in District 2. The center supports all of Anaheim students. Its programs excite and inspire students to get involved in engineering and the sciences. District 3 is Anaheim's downtown. 72% of the residents here are Hispanic. District 3 is the original Mother Colony area where Anaheim was founded in 1857. It's home to Center Street and the super hip Anaheim Packing District. Actually, I heard one of my kids' friends call it randomly hip, which whatever that means, I like it. The area is attracting thousands of residents and tourists every month, visiting historic buildings, City Hall, the Carnegie Library, the museum, Pearson Park, and a wonderful selection of outdoor cafes, restaurants, and bars. Gracing our downtown is a new presence of over 900 employees of St. Joseph's Heritage Healthcare, bringing all their administration and executive employees together from across Orange County into Anaheim Center Street. We're proud to have them in our city. In La Palma Park, you'll find Glover Stadium and DeFee Field. Not only is this a great sports venue for our community, it's where they filmed the Jackie Robinson story, where the one and only Jackie Robinson actually played himself at that park. The city's first high school, Anaheim High, is doing wonderful work. It's recognized for its visual and performing arts program and its independent learning center. Some of the most famous graduates from Anaheim High are Bobby Hatfield of the Righteous Brothers and former New York Giants head coach Jim Fassel, who led his team, the Giants, to Super Bowl 35. And last year, I think this is really special, Anaheim High honored 62 of its alumni who fought and died for freedom in the service of our country. Moving east, we come to District 4, also very diverse and home to the happiest place on earth, the Disneyland and Disneyland Resort. The Anaheim Resort attracts over 20 million visitors of all ages from all over the world every year. The 4th District is also where you'll find Bruno Serrato's extraordinary White House restaurant. Bruno is a 2011 CNN Top 10 hero. This is a worldwide honor. For years, Bruno's been serving pasta dinner to the kids at the Boys and Girls Club throughout Anaheim and Orange County. This past year, Bruno, if you can imagine, served his 1 millionth meal. That's 1 million acts of kindness from one person. For that, we gave him the keys of the city. So Bruno, I know you're here. Please stand up so we can all thank you. To put that in perspective, I think there's 800 and some people here this afternoon. Bruno serves twice that every night. So thank you, Bruno. District 4 there's another great example. In District 4, there's another great example of city government and local community working together. It's the Ponderosa Park renovation. The planning stage is complete, and we're now moving forward. We're beginning with a 10,000 square foot skate park. The plans for the skate park have been in works for 2 years with robust citizens' involvement, particularly from the skateboarders. These kids have been waiting a long time for this, and it's great to see it finally coming to fruition. District 5 is where we are right now. It's a home of the Platinum Triangle with the City National Grove, the Honda Center, Angel Stadium, and Arctic. More than $1.2 billion is being invested right now in new construction in the Triangle through condos, offices, retail, and a new hotel. $1.2 billion, and much more to come. Our Angels made a great run last year, just barely falling short of the playoffs. Center fielder Mike Trout amazed us all again with his spectacular catches and his outstanding hitting, and will lead the team again in 2016. So I think we all expect to see the Angels playing deep into October this next year. And the Ducks. The Ducks are in the fight. They're in the fight for a 2016 playoff spot, led by Ryan Getzloff and Corey Perry. They're playing some awesome hockey lately. By the way, they've won 6 of their last 7 games, and they're on a roll. Further north, you'll find several thriving neighborhoods like Catella and Sunkist, and the beautiful Anaheim Cove's restored recreational trail. Catella High celebrated its 50th anniversary last year. This one high school, and I think this is amazing, this one high school has 3 alums now serving in the United States Congress. They are Ed Royce, Loretta Sanchez, and Linda Sanchez, all from Catella High, all serving our country right now in Congress. I think that's unprecedented. Yes. That brings us to District 6. If you follow the Santa Ana River, you'll come to some of Anaheim's most beautiful parks and trails, a place where all citizens can enjoy a natural environment within the boundaries of our own city. I'm pleased to recognize the outstanding El Rancho Charter School. This public school was recently named the top middle school in all of Orange County. Esperanza High has a rich tradition of success. One of the most prominent graduates is NASA astronaut Joseph Acaba. He has spent months at the International Space Station, and I believe he's one of only a few people from Anaheim who've ever seen Anaheim from space, I think. And let's hear it for the Canyon High Comanches for their CIF Division Football Championship this past year. Very well done, Canyon, and the entire city is proud of you. At the border of District 5 and 6, you'll see the Anaheim Canyon Business Area. We've been awarded a grant to prepare a robust business plan for the Anaheim Canyon. The goal is to create an environment attractive to businesses of all kinds. Anaheim Canyon, anchored by the $850 million Kaiser Permanente Anaheim Medical Center, will feature mixed-use development, restaurants, and shops that appeal to employees, employers, and residents alike. Each of these districts is unique. From this day forward, their local issues and concerns will have a stronger voice at City Hall, and that's good news for all of us. And our accomplishments citywide have been extraordinary. This year, the Anaheim Fire and Rescue was designated Class 1 for fire protection. This is the highest possible ranking, putting Anaheim Fire and Rescue into an elite group nationwide. This rating, it's not just doesn't make us feel good, it actually lowers insurance rates and should give residents and businesses more peace of mind. Congratulations to Anaheim Fire and Rescue. Every January, I attend the U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting in Washington, D.C. This year, there's one issue that rose to the top of the agenda: the relationship of communities to their local police force. And of course, we still have work to do, but I'm very, very proud to tell you that the Anaheim Police Department is way ahead of other departments in their efforts to create strong and trusted community relations. With the Public Safety Career Pipeline, the police, joined by Fire and Rescue, have partnered with the Anaheim Union High School District to educate 7th and 8th grade students on career opportunities in public safety. With programs like Cops for Kids, Police Explorers, and Junior Cadets, the police are bonding with the school children in neighborhoods threatened with gang violence. GRIP, the department's gang reduction initiative, provides at-risk youth and their parents early intervention and case management. GRIP is growing every year and has reached over 1,900 at-risk students so far. This is kindness in action. All of this is happening in concert with a newly established Citizens Public Safety Board. We're the only city in Orange County where a Citizens Board oversees the police department and the fire department, and it's working well. Our police force is the best equipped and best trained in the state. The latest FBI data shows, when compared to other cities across the country with a population above 300,000, in 2014, Anaheim was the second lowest in violent crime in the nation. Our goal is to be the lowest, and we won't stop until we get there. Yes. Our police department has also been a national leader in changing how communities combat the issue of sex trafficking. Many of the women and girls caught up in prostitution are actually teenagers, bought and sold by men profiting from their vulnerability. Our police aren't simply locking up these women. They're seeing them now as victims that they are. Here's a recent example. 3 weeks ago, the police found 4 girls, ages 14 through 17, who were being forced into prostitution by 4 men. These young girls have been rescued by our police department. They are now safe and receiving the support services they needed. And the 4 suspects who put them into prostitution, they're in jail waiting trial. This is how it works now. The police are directing punishment away from the helpless victims of sex trafficking and towards the bad guys who run the prostitution rings. Which brings me to an important announcement. Drug addiction. Drug addiction has been an epidemic in America, affecting people of all walks of life. I think all of us know a family or friend who's been impacted by drug addiction. It's a disease. After years of trying, it's clear we just can't arrest our way out of this problem. So we're being called to treat addicts in our city in a different, more effective manner and kinder. In December, an Anaheim businessman, Orrin Abrams, met with some police officials and me to discuss a unique drug addiction initiative going on in Gloucester, Massachusetts. We were impressed with what Orrin shared with us, so I asked the chief to look into this program. With that, Chief Casada and I signed off on an innovative program aimed at getting drug addicts the help they need. We'll call it Drug-Free Anaheim. From now on, drug addicts will be encouraged to come into the police station and simply ask for help. Our officers will be trained and prepared to receive anyone who walks in and will get them the help they need. We will seek alternatives to prosecution and incarceration first. When they come to the station, they will not be treated as criminals simply for having an addiction. For those people who are not wanted for other crimes and come to the station with a legitimate desire to get sober, we will divert them for treatment rather than putting them back into the criminal justice system. They'll be taken or directed to one of a dozen treatment centers or hospitals where they'll find real help. I truly believe that drug-free Anaheim will reduce crime, will have the effect of reducing crime while fighting this terrible epidemic. These breakthrough initiatives, along with the creative community programs like Public Safety Board, Block Captain Training, PACE, Coffee with a Cop, and Hi Neighbor, are all making a big difference. All across our city, police officers are going above and beyond to serve our citizens and our visitors with kindness. Check out this video.
Faced a disappearing act outside the Magic Kingdom after the third row seats in their Chevy Suburban were stolen during their stay at Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel.
We actually paid quite a bit of money from the hotel to park.
The family of 5 was traveling with Grandma, so the rear seats were necessary for all of them to ride safely.
We felt helpless.
Officer David Garcia from the Anaheim Police Department got the call. He quickly realized replacements were impossible to find because it was Thanksgiving Day, when businesses were closed.
I've got a family of my own, and I can only imagine what the effort that's put into a big trip like this.
This is a picture of what he did. He took one of the seats out of his Chevy Tahoe and put it in the singer's SUV. The break-in happened right before they were set to head to relatives for Thanksgiving dinner.
I certainly didn't want them to miss Thanksgiving dinner with their family.
Garcia says he made it his personal mission to help after he found out Dan Singer was a military veteran who battles PTSD, which is aggravated under stress.
I just have the utmost respect for veterans.
Garcia never told anybody what he did. We only found out about it weeks later after the Singers wrote to his boss. They say police officers only capture headlines when something negative happens. That's why they wanted to share this story.
Because I think there are more officers like him.
Garcia even allowed the Singers to borrow his seat after Thanksgiving so they could drive home to Oregon, where they paid for shipping to return it. This banner hangs at the police station where Garcia works, reminding us the long arm of the law is also about a helping hand.
Officer Garcia is actually with us this afternoon with his wife Nancy. A simple act, but a kind act. Thank you. Let's hear for Officer Garcia. Please stand and be recognized. As a mother from Oregon said on the news clip, there are many more officers like David, all of whom deserve our gratitude. I'm proud and grateful to the department for what they're doing to build trust with the people they serve. They're treating residents with kindness while forcefully and effectively stopping those who wish to do us harm. This is a tough, complicated, and dangerous job. In fact, you might have heard on the news this morning that early in the morning there was an officer-involved shooting in Anaheim. So if you would just please join me and send our prayers to the soul of the deceased and his family, and also to the officer and his family, and also to the entire Anaheim Police Department. So we just take a moment and pause. It's a very tough job. Another citywide concern that we have, and everyone has, is homelessness. In 2014, I launched Coming Home Anaheim. We want to make sure that every organization assisting Anaheim's homeless is partnering with the city. To manage this initiative, we contracted with CityNet, a private organization with expertise in identifying housing the homeless. With CityNet, we've developed a management model that provides the leadership and coordination required to make sure Coming Home Anaheim works effectively. Now the police and every other city government agency is coordinating with 70 faith-based groups and nonprofit organizations to alleviate the pain and suffering of Anaheim's homeless. Together, we are making outstanding headway. To date, we have placed 452 of our homeless people in permanent housing. Many of these people are veterans. Let's hear it for the big effort from all of our nonprofits and faith-based groups. And last November, Orange County approved the building of a new homeless shelter with 200 beds and wraparound services, a year-round homeless shelter. This facility, in partnership with Anaheim, will be the first year-round shelter in Orange County. I want to personally thank my colleagues, Chris Murray, Jordan Brandman, Lucille Kring, James Vanderbilt, along with the Board of Supervisors for the County of Orange and other elected officials from our surrounding cities for your leadership in making this happen. Homelessness is a complex issue with many causes. It's one of our highest priorities. We will not rest until every homeless person has a place to live and is getting the care they need. 5 years ago, I introduced Hi Neighbor, a program to strengthen community bonds the old-fashioned way, neighbors getting to know neighbors. In addition, 75 neighborhoods have set up their own networks, preparing for emergencies and participating in community police programs like block captain training and neighborhood watch. And now neighborhoods throughout Anaheim are joining Nextdoor Anaheim, a web-based community, Facebook-like app connecting thousands of residents to their neighbors. This is all about Mitsein, being with one another so we can do things together, reach out when we need help, and respond quickly to any and all emergencies. A relatively new issue for many of our neighborhoods is short-term rentals. Because of the explosion in internet bookings, investors and property owners are converting many of our residential homes to short-term rental units, some akin to even like small motels. This obviously has a negative effect on the essence of our neighborhoods, which is unacceptable. This is a complicated issue, but at this point, let me say that our city staff is focused on finding effective, fair, and legal ways to address this important issue. To ensure Anaheim's prosperity for years to come, it's critical that the city is sound financially. For the 5th year in a row, our budget is balanced without drawing on reserves. That's the good news. But here's the bad news. We're facing a serious threat to the financial well-being of our city with our unfunded liabilities, particularly our massive unfunded pension liability. State law limits what we can do about fixing this problem. However, there is one small area where the state allows reform, and that is with pensions of new hires. If we want to pay down our debts, we have to start with limiting future indebtedness. All parties involved need to come together and have the discipline to limit future pensions and debt obligations so that the situation at least does not continue to get worse. The federal government has recently changed the county rules related to how municipalities report their unfunded pension debts. Starting this year, we must place our unfunded pension liability amount on the city's balance sheet. Before, it just showed up in a footnote. When we do this, Anaheim's unrestricted funds will show a negative net position of about $447 million. In other words, we owe more money than we have to the tune of $447 million. This bill is going to come due. It has to. It's math, and the math is brutal. We all need to deal with this issue sooner rather than later. The longer we wait, the greater the hardship will be on the taxpayer, current city employees, retirees, and Anaheim bondholders. Okay, now let's get back to the good news. As you all know, Anaheim is a great place to do business. I think maybe the greatest place. And with the great work of Visit Anaheim, we're letting the world know who we are. We're a world-class destination. We attract over 22 million visitors every year to the Disneyland Resort and the West Coast's largest convention center. With Disney's new plan for Star Wars Land and the continued success of our professional sports teams, we expect even more millions in the years to come. With major revitalization on Beach Boulevard in the Anaheim Canyon, the Platinum Triangle, and the Packing District and Center Street, there's enormous growth opportunity for businesses large and small. And I can't have a speech without mentioning Brew City. We now have 10 active brewers and more to come in Anaheim. Yeah. That was my brother starting the applause, I think. We've become the craft brew hub of the Southland. We have a thriving arts community led by the Orange County Symphony, Anaheim Ballet, and the Chance Theater. These great companies entertain us, lift us up, and bring us together. Just last fall, we launched the Anaheim Creativity Council, which partners with NAMM and the Symphony to boost the music programs in our elementary schools. I also believe we've become the best place in Orange County to shoot movies and television shows. We had over 60 film permits issued in 2015. And last year we created Film Anaheim. We now offer a low-cost one-time fee and a single point of contact, which is very important when you're filming. It's now incredibly easy and even easier to film movies and television shows here. We're business friendly. We believe that entrepreneurs should be free to pursue their dreams, and I want them to know that we're here to help. We make sure there's appropriate zoning and codes so small businesses can open and thrive throughout our city. So it's no surprise that in 2015, we assisted over 19,000 people with their business planning and issued almost 7,000 building permits. And the unemployment rate in Anaheim is down to 5.2%. This is down from a high of 12.2% in 2010. Let's hear it for our planning department. And all the entrepreneurs in our town, small business people. Last year, we launched our mentoring program that teams up individual high school students with individual businessmen and women. The response from the business community, I must tell you, has been terrific. Volunteers from dozens of companies are now working with kids, helping them prepare for fulfilling and productive lives after high school. Here's where everyone in this room can make a huge difference in the lives of these young men and women. In a few days, you'll hopefully get an email from me inviting you to participate if you aren't already. Here's a chance to make a big act of kindness that could have a dramatic effect and impact on a young person's life. Now you see why I'm so optimistic about our future. Something powerful is happening here. Our businesses, our community organizations, our city government, our neighborhoods, our police and first responders, our children and their parents are now more than ever making Anaheim safer, more prosperous, and the most open-hearted city anywhere. We're changing Anaheim's culture for the better, and the world is taking note. In the last few months, I've heard from several cities in California that they too want to create their own kindness campaigns. I believe, as I said before, this is becoming a movement, and our kids are leading the way. They're teaching us how to do it. The kids of the Anaheim City School District committed to deliver 1 million acts of kindness, and last year they hit that mark. Now we also have the Anaheim Union High School District Serve-a-thon, a high school service day on Martin Luther King Day. This January, we had over 4,500 students, teachers, and school administrators participate on a free day, a school holiday, where thousands came out and delivered acts of kindness throughout the entire city. It was something to see. And there's more. Our high school students are now committing to year-round activities of kindness. They're some of the first to take part in a national online volunteer program called Unite for Good. I believe we'll be seeing millions more acts of kindness from our schools in the next few years. With the kids leading the way, the adults are following. We now have Love Anaheim, a multi-sector service project movement. It matches willing leaders, volunteers, and funding organizations to deliver a wide range of need-based projects. The first of 4 main service project events is April 30th. If you and your family want to get involved, here's a great place to start. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but you might have seen teams of people wearing green vests, wielding metal tongs in local parks or neighborhoods. This is Green Bird of Anaheim, a litter-collecting army of residents and volunteers of all ages intent on cleaning up our city. There are now Green Bird armies in West Anaheim, Central Anaheim, and at the new Goals Academy. Their motto is, keep it clean, keep it green. I think this group is awesome. Thank you, Jody and Kevin, for starting that in our city. Every single act of kindness is like throwing a pebble in a lake. Each causes a ripple with a positive impact we may never really know. Our city's commitment to kindness has been noticed, not just by us. Take a look at this video.
Oh my gosh, this is incredibly exciting for these kids. Good afternoon to you both. What these kids have accomplished is nothing short of extraordinary. The Dalai Lama took notice, so now 10 lucky kids from each school that participated in this will have a chance to go celebrate with him for his 80th birthday. Pretty extraordinary. But what these kids hope is that you at home will see what they've done, be inspired to do the same. Do you think you'll change the world?
It will change the world.
An unimaginable feat. Students performed 1 million acts of kindness between 24 elementary schools in Anaheim City School District.
Kindness is the secret path to successful.
It feels like a spark and your body just comes up like fireworks.
Here at Gower Elementary alone, kids performed 70,000 acts of kindness over the past year.
My act of kindness, I help my grandma cook.
Help kids that are feeling down, and I help comfort them.
We collected coins to support finding a cure for leukemia.
Plus, relief to the Philippines, letters to veterans thanking them for their service, and something so simple as giving a little girl a hug if she was sitting alone.
This has happened to me, and it has inspired me to help other people.
To that little girl sitting there by herself, it's a very, very big thing and can be life-changing.
Anaheim Mayor Tom Tate was the brains behind 1 million acts of kindness. He was inspired by a 6.5-year-old girl named Natasha. We spoke to Natasha's father.
She used to say, it's not enough to do no wrong in one day.
Nearly 10 years after Natasha's untimely death, the Dalai Lama heard about the 1 million acts of kindness movement she inspired and invited Mayor Tate to India.
This is the way to achieve peace in the world, and you are making that happen.
His Holiness's personal emissary for peace had this message.
Through kindness, you can find love, and through love, you can find compassion, and through compassion, you can find world peace.
The Dalai Lama's personal emissary pulled me aside to tell me that our kindness initiative was a big reason the Dalai Lama chose Anaheim as a place to celebrate his 80th birthday this past July. And I had the great honor to speak with the Dalai Lama before and during his birthday festivities. He told me, and I quote, "The key to world peace is creating a culture of compassion and kindness. And the best way to do this is to instill it in the schools." He also said, it won't be easy. You have to work at it every day. If you don't, you'll become a city of anger and fear. Now that made an impression on me. With horrible events like the terrorist attack just 50 miles from here in San Bernardino, anger and fear naturally get stronger. It seems harder than ever to combat these emotions. I absolutely agree with the Dalai Lama. Kindness and compassion is the key. I'm really proud that we are instilling kindness in our schools. This generation will become our future leaders and the parents of the next generation. Our focus must be on the children, especially those that are at risk. 2 years ago, with the leadership of the Disney Resort, the Angels, and the Ducks, ACT Anaheim was launched. They're all represented here today, and we thank them. You've seen in our ACT Anaheim video today the tremendous impact ACT Anaheim is having on our youth. This is a wonderful beginning. It's critical that our business community keeps this up. Remember, Anaheim is committed to the success of all of our businesses, keeping taxes low, less regulation, strong infrastructure, and safer communities. We provide the facilities and support for Anaheim's world-class entertainment venues. In return, I expect our businesses to do all they can to support the children of Anaheim. I call on all of Anaheim's businesses to join Disneyland, the Angels, and the Ducks, and the many individuals and foundations who have joined them in continued commitment to ACT Anaheim. Great things are happening now. We need your leadership to keep it up, not just for 3 years, but for generations. Today, together, we're building the foundation of a fiscally sound, innovative, business-friendly, thriving city of kindness. We do this not for ourselves, but for our children. In our schools, kids speak dozens of languages. Their families practice different religions. Some practice no religion. Some love baseball, some love hockey, some love soccer. Some live in beautiful homes, some are homeless. Some ride the bus past Disney, and some past gangs. Some have parents who grew up here, and some arrived just last week. Some are white, some are black, some are Latino, some are Arab, some are Asian, and so on. All kinds of people live, work, study, and play here. Our city's future is in our hands. I'm so proud of this city. I'm so optimistic. Together we can create the very best, I believe the very best American city. Our kids deserve this. Every resident deserves this. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen together. And let's try a little kindness. Old Glenn Campbell song.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed,
and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way.
but you've got to try a little kindness. Just show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overcome the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. But you've got to try a little kindness. Just show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overcome the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. You've got to try a little kindness. Just show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try, then you'll overcome the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. You've got to try a little kindness. Just show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overcome the blindness and help to make this city a place we're proud to be. You've got to try a little kindness. Just show a little kindness. Just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overcome the blindness and help to make this city a place we're proud to be.
Thank you, Jazznauts. Thank you, Chance Theater. Thank you, kids from Marshall Elementary. We are all Anaheim. God bless you. God bless this great city. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you.